Okay, we're on Module 4, Lesson 16, homework, question number 2. Read, draw, write is the strategy I'm going to use here. And again, tape diagrams are a wonderful strategy that we're going to continue to practice. Riverside Elementary School is holding a school-wide election to choose a school color. 5/8 of the votes were for the blue, 5/9 of the remaining votes were for green, and the remaining 48 votes were for red. How many votes were for blue? Here's my tape. Take advantage of the space that I have. I may need more space, which I will do on loose leaf or someplace else if I'm not working on a computer screen. Okay, so what do we do know? We know that 5/8 of all the votes, so this is all votes. We don't know that number yet. It's a question mark. But we do know that 5/8 of those votes one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Whoops. Eight. Yep, eight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 5/8 of those votes were for blue. 5/9 of the remaining. So here's my remaining votes. Okay, the key word is there. It's not 5/9 of the whole, it's 5/9 of the remaining. Well, I'm looking at the remaining and I only have 3 pieces left of my remaining votes. What I can clearly see is I could break those 3 into thirds, and now I have 9. I now have 9 pieces of the remaining. If I'm going to break those remaining pieces into thirds, I should do all of the other pieces into thirds. So I have all the same size pieces. So 5/9 of the remaining votes were for green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5/9 were for green. And the remaining 48 votes were for red. So the remaining votes were for red. There were 48. 48 for red. Well, if there's 4 pieces for red, and we know that there's 48, I'm going to take that 48 and divide by 4. 48 divided by 4 is 12. Each of these pieces gets 12. So do the rest of these. They are all equal pieces. ... Okay, so we know that every piece in there gets 12 votes. So now I go back to the question. I have all my information in my chart. I now go back to the information and the question. How many votes were for blue? Well, here's my blue. And I know that I have 12. How many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 12 times 15 is 180. How many votes for blue? 180 votes for blue. Final answer. How many votes for green? Here's my votes for green. The clearer you label, the clearer you write. better chance you have at getting things right and getting it done quickly. I have 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 12, 5 times is 60. 60 votes for green. Final answer. Okay, moving on to C. If every student got one vote, but there were 25 absent on the day of the vote, how many students are there at Riverside Elementary School? Okay, now some of us might not need tape for this, but I'm going to. And I'm going to go back to my information to see how many kids voted. I have 180 for blue, 60 for green, 180 for blue. That's a lot. A little less, 60 for green. And I don't remember red. Red. There were 48 for red. 48. 48 for red. But then there were also kids that were absent. How many kids were absent? 25. This is the total number of kids at Riverside. I would take 180 and 60 and 48 and 25 to get my answer. Nine, 15, 313. There are 313 students. Okay. Now, 7/10 of the votes for blue were made by girls. Okay, a couple different things I could do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7/10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Were made by girls. If the whole for blue, my whole for blue was 180. So basically what I'm going to do is I could take 180 and divide it by 10 because I'm breaking it into tenths. 180 divided by 10 is 18. All of these are 18. Alright, now I'm pretty set up. Okay, and the question says, did girls who voted for blue make up more or less than half of all votes? Support your reasoning with a picture. Alright, well, if the question had said, is it more or less than half of the blue votes, I can clearly see that 7/10 is more than half. But it's not more than half of the blue votes, it's all votes. Remember that all votes was 313. I'm sorry. Well, that's all students. All votes would be 313 minus the 25 kids that were absent. It's 288 of all votes. Okay. Now, a couple different ways I can find how many girls voted for blue. I can multiply 18 times 7, right here, is 126. Or, at the very beginning, I could have taken 7/10 of 180, which would be 7 times 180 divided by 10. 180 times 7 is 1,260 divided by 10 would be 126. How many girls voted for blue? 126 girls voted for blue. Now, first question I have to come back to now, of D. Did girls who voted for blue make up more or less than half of all votes? Remember, here's my all votes. 288. That was blue plus green plus red. 288 is 126 half of 288. I could find that easily by just saying I can divide to see if it's half, or I can multiply that by 2 to see that 126 is half of 252. So 126 is less than half of 288. Girls voting for blue are less than half